welcome to another Follow Us Around Friday. This week we are making a video about our top 10 tips for preparing your house for a showing. I hope you enjoy it. So the first tip is to get in the habit of making your bed. This tip is actually an overall suggestion to get in the habit of being really clean. This means putting dishes away even if they're clean, putting away children's toys, dog toys, loose pieces of paper. People want to imagine themselves living in that space, and they can't do it if you've got a lot of clutter and stuff around. The second tip is when you leave the house, please leave all the doors to your bedrooms, laundry room, everything open. Otherwise, we as realtors are going to look like idiots walking around knocking on doors because we think somebody's home. The other downside to this is that the buyers or potential buyers will not feel welcome in your house. They'll feel anxious and kind of unwelcome and uncertain if somebody's there. So they won't be able to envision themselves there, which is not what you want. So keep your doors open. Alright, so the third one is to keep your lights on in your house. So right before you leave your house for a showing, make sure you turn all the lights on. It's the same reason as tip number 2. You want people to feel welcome, especially in the winter when the sun sets at 4:30. You don't want people walking into a dark house. So tip number 4 is if you are a large dog owner or a cat owner, you might want to consider getting your pets groomed and getting your carpets cleaned. It really is a small expense when you think about wanting to sell your house. Unfortunately, people know, or their nose knows, when there's an animal that lives in that house, and the sad truth is that it can turn a lot of people off. I personally am a dog owner and a dog lover, so it's not really an issue for me, but I have done showings where it is an issue for others, so keep that in mind. In keeping with the pet theme, tip number 5 is make sure you plan with your realtor to have time to take your pet out of the house during a showing. When my parents were selling their house, I would take our family pet Murphy for walks, or I would take him for car rides. It was a perfect opportunity to do that. We would also find restaurants that Murphy could eat on the patio at, and it was a real treat for him too. So make sure you keep that in mind if you have a pet. On tip number 6, and tip number 6 is keep your windows open. It is an actual thing for vacant houses to have a really stale smell. So if you've already moved out, ask your realtor to open the windows at least 30 minutes before a showing. People actually really appreciate that. Smells can turn people off. And if you still live at home, please try to open your windows every day. The fresh air is actually way better than any Febreze, candles, or scented diffusers. Tip number 7 is you can use Febreze or candles if you want to, but don't overdo it. You have to keep in mind that a lot of people do have allergies nowadays, and it's completely unpleasant to be sneezing your way through a showing. Basically, what I would suggest is if you have your windows open every single day, then what you would want to do right before a showing is just do 1 spritz of Febreze or light a candle for a little bit, just in areas that matter, like the kitchen, maybe the bedroom, or the bathroom, and just for, like I said, for a little bit. Okay, tip number 8 is take down your personal family photos. I know that you love them, but what you're doing when you're leaving them up for showings is you're risking people looking at your photos instead of your house, which is not exactly what you want. So take this as an opportunity, as you're selling your house anyways, to get a leg up on packing, make your photography or photos box, and put it away in a closet somewhere. Tip number 9, we're finally getting there, is to create a box for your knickknacks, your clutter, and anything else while you're making your photography box. You're moving anyways, right? So the reason why I suggest this is that it's proven that people like when there's furniture in a house when they're doing showings, because then they can kind of visualize where they want to put their own things. But if there's a bunch of clutter and stuff on top of the furniture, even if it's cute stuff, they still feel kind of overwhelmed by the stuff. So actually, another tip within this tip is to read The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up. It's a great book for sort of decluttering your life as well as your home. So it's definitely something that I 100% suggest. This is probably one of the most important tips. Tip number 10, we made it. So the last tip is consider hiring a stager. They do really, really good work. It's very impressive. I have a personal story where my parents were trying to sell a house and it was taking weeks and weeks and weeks. They hired a stager and it sold in a couple days, above asking price. What stagers can do is they can help you figure out what to keep, what to pack away, so they can kind of help you with that clutter issue. They can also make a space look bigger, brighter, and more on trend with what buyers are looking for these days. So consider investing in that in order to sell your house. Is it filming? Tip number 10.
Dirty.
Tip number 10. Tip number 10. So tip number 10 is also very important, and it okay. It's proven that when people are okay, start again.
What's bothering you?
The helicopter.
Okay.
Tip number 7. It doesn't need to be like overpowering for breeze. I don't know. That's all I gotta say. Ooh, wet up. Okay, that's fine.
You started hanging with a new crew, talking to my friends like that's something that I'm used to. I never cashed else, I just wanted him to lose you.